Hey y'all, Leela with Miss Kiss Creations. Welcome back to my channel. As a lot of y'all know, I just purchased a brand new home and I've been setting up my craft space and I am obsessed so far. I wanted to show y'all my glitter wall because I always get so many questions and comments about my glitter wall, how I set it up, where I got the shelves, and just the process of it all. So I wanted to make a very short video and try to explain everything, and I'll have everything linked in my description below for you to purchase. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with this quick tutorial. So this is my craft space. I recorded this at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I haven't purchased any lighting for my craft space yet, so bear with me. It is kind of like yellow because my main fan light is yellow, but I wanted to show y'all the bare wall of what I was working with. It's a smaller wall than my apartment wall. I really don't know how long the wall is because I'm not much of a measurer, you'll see in this video, and I wanted to show y'all the shelves that I have. So I purchased these shelves from Amazon. These are spice racks, and every time I purchase these shelves from Amazon, I use the same exact link, but every time I purchase them, a different shelf arrives. I've ordered them probably 3 or 4 times, and one of the times they were out of the stainless steel and I had to order the copper. And these shelves, like I said, they are spice shelves, so I wanted to show y'all how the glitter fits on these shelves. They are perfect for the glitter bottles, and about 8 or 9 glitter bottles fits on these shelves. And I do use a 2-ounce glitter bottles from Glitter Heart Co. These are the 2 different style shelves that I have. They are very similar, but they are very different at the same time. And then I have these brown shelves. I won't be using these in the video, but I did purchase these in the past whenever they were out of the stainless steel. They also have a 2-tier shelf as well. So my plan of my new craft space glitter wall was to put a Kallax IKEA cube square underneath my glitter wall. So that's why I am measuring from the floor up, and I'm measuring approximately 30 inches because that's how tall my Kallax square cabinet was going to be. If you guys remember my old craft space in my apartment, I had the square cabinet or the square Kallax IKEA shelf, and then I had my glitter shelf. That was my original plan. So I measured that out, and then now I am organizing all of the shelves that I have because remember, I do have different types of shelves. So I wanted to keep them like clustered together because again, I don't want it to look like wonky and ratchet, but I want it to look kind of neat. So I have these bigger bottles. I think these are 5-ounce bottles, and you could tell that the bottles do not fit inside of the 2-tier, but they will fit up top. So I wanted to make sure I left enough space for those bigger bottles to fit. Those are 5 inches tall. You can see 5 inches. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough space. I've watched a lot of videos of people making their glitter shelves, and this is the mistake that they make the most, is they don't measure out their tallest glitter bottle between the shelves. So make sure you do measure, and I ended up putting 3 inches between each shelf. So about 3 to like 3.5. Listen, I'm not like a math genius. I just kind of eyeball stuff and talk with my animals like I'm doing here. And then I just figure it out. And then at the end, it kind of works out. So after I had a little discussion with my Sasha girl, we decided that we're just gonna wing it, you know, duh. So I wanted to actually show y'all what I use. This is a laser level, and I purchased this for another DIY project around my house. So I already had this on hand. If I didn't already have this, I wouldn't go out and buy this. But I will say this did help a lot to start my first row. I also went to Lowe's and I purchased these drywall anchors. This is perfect because I am not like a carpenter or anything, so this was the anchors in the screws all together. I didn't have to find separate anchors and separate screws. So I used this laser level on my very first row, and then once the first row was nice and leveled as much as I wanted it to be, that's when I turned off the level, and then I just went with my regular hand level. So again, this is my home. This isn't an apartment. So I took this seriously, okay? I got the level out. I got the stud finder out. My husband wasn't there for the stud finder to magnetize to him. I got the anchors. I got everything. I took my time. I measured stuff like mentally, not really, but this was a really long process, and I'm really proud that I took my time because at the end, it really looks gorgeous. One of the many tips I have for y'all is if you are doing these shelves on a wall with a corner and it's not like a standalone wall, make sure you are starting your first shelf on the corner. It is a lot easier because you don't have to measure and make your shelves perfectly aligned. It's just beautiful just like that. It helps so much to keep your shelf straight. So I wanted to make this video to not only show y'all my easy process of this, but I wanted to explain kind of the process and just give y'all the confidence and tell y'all that you guys can do this simple project. We are not putting any shelves together. We're not doing anything fancy. You need like 4 or 5 pieces of material / tools and you can do this. I'm going to explain this simple project to you, and I promise you that you will be able to put up your glitter walls just like mine. Okay, so let me explain the purpose of an anchor. I know this sounds very basic and beginner, but before my husband explained this to me when I started putting these shelves up like years ago, I didn't know the reason for anchors. So let me explain the drywall anchors. So whenever people or construction workers build a house, they have studs in the house. Studs are basically those wood 2x4s or 6x4s, whatever by 4s they are. And those are the studs. So you can drill into that piece of wood and that screw or nail is not going to go anywhere. But there's not studs all throughout the house next to each other. Studs are placed like 16 inches apart or 12 inches apart or wherever the construction workers want to do it. So whenever you are drilling an only drywall and there's no stud, you need a drywall anchor. A drywall anchor will act as that stud and basically will anchor that screw to the wall so your shelves do not fall. All you have to do is take a stud finder. You place the stud finder on the wall. When the stud finder lights up, that's where the stud is. If the stud finder does not light up, there is no stud, and that means that you need to place an anchor into the wall and then place the screw into the anchor. If you accidentally screw an anchor into a stud, so screw the plastic anchor into a piece of wood, you will definitely know because you will not be able to properly drill it into the wall. I did it like twice, and you will know that you are drilling into the anchor and not drilling into just 1/2 inch or 1 inch drywall. For this wall, there was only, I think, 2, maybe 3 studs, so I had to use a lot of anchors because I needed those anchors to really stick into that drywall because I did not want these shelves to drop down with my glitter. So I used a lot of anchors, and that's okay. I still had so many anchors left over. Okay, so do you remember in the beginning of the video whenever I told you that I measured 30 inches from the ground because I wanted to have my calyx shelf underneath here? Well, I didn't have a long enough wall for all of my shelves. So I had to scratch that calyx plan and just make this wall an entire glitter wall. And yes, I know I have a lot of space up top, but my last craft space, I couldn't reach my glitters on the top shelf and I was so frustrated with that. So I wanted to make sure I went lower than higher. So that's why I decided to put it all the way to the ground and not go higher because you know you will never touch those glitters on the top shelf. I was so excited to be finished with that last row. Little did I know that was not my last row. So here is the next day, better lighting. This is when I started to realize I had so much glitter. Oh my gosh, why do I have so much glitter? Actually, that's a stupid question. You can never have too much glitter. I ended up just dumping all my glitter out to the floor. I figured this was a lot easier than going through the bags. And even though the colors were like in sections, they weren't in sections. There was a lot that was still mixed. This was just so overwhelming, but like so much fun at the same time. I Googled the color wheel and I wanted to make sure I had a nice color flow. So that little purple sticky note next to my shelf, those are the list of colors that I wanted it to be in. And I always go from the top to the bottom and then I start at the bottom and I go back up. So I've always done my shelves that way. I just like how it flows. So I did pink, purple, blue, green, yellowish, reddish, orange, and then I think I did the brown and the black at the end. I really don't use a lot of black glitter because I do not like how it looks under epoxy. So I made sure to shove that black all the way to the end and it just always sits there. After this, I realized I had more shelves behind me and I was going to go insane. So what did I do? I added more shelves underneath the bottom shelves, and I made sure to keep that electrical area open because if you don't know, there are studs and wires running near electrical. So if you are drilling around electrical socket, please turn off your breaker box and your electric, or you will get electrocuted and die, and you won't have time to enjoy your glitter. So this is how the glitter wall ended up. You can see I added the rose underneath that plug and I put it all the way to the bottom. That sign that I had up top, that's the sign that I used to use whenever I did like vendor events, so I just added that up there. I don't know, I thought it was cute, and then I'll probably put my YouTube plaque next to it. But this is how it is right now, and I think it's gorgeous. And you can see there's so many little shelves available for more glitter, and I wanted to show you how it looks on the side. It is very close to the wall. It's very nice and clean looking. It's not too bulky and not too much in the way, and there's so much space for activities. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, I have these shelves linked in my description. Purchase them. They are great. They are lifesavers. You will love these shelves for your glitter. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and say hi to Ani. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time.